And she told me that if I want to continue with this Jewish stuff, so I should just take some clothes and just get out of the house. She doesn't want to have anything else to do with me. You know, she can't handle it anymore. It's too stressful for her and all that. And she just wants me to leave. So what happened then is that in the meantime, I had made some friends in Muncie. You know, since my adopted parents knew about my interest in Judaism, I became a little bit bolder about, you know, contacting Orthodox Jews. And I had already, what happened is that I told, I'm afraid I'm going on much too long. You know, this must be like, you know, is this okay?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, you said, tell me about the conversion process.
Yeah, well, what it was is that after I told my adopted parents about my plan to become Jewish, I decided to visit an Orthodox synagogue, and the nearest Orthodox synagogue to our home was the synagogue in New Square. And it was like, this happened to be about the time of Simchas Torah in 1976. And if I'm not mistaken, Simchas Torah in 1976, I think, came out on a Saturday night. And I called up the base medrash in New Square. I asked them what the schedule was for the Akafas for Simchas Torah. I knew about this, but I'd never seen it, and I wanted to. So they told me that in New Square, they begin the Hakafas, I believe it is like about 1 o'clock in the morning on the night of Simchas Torah, and they finish around 4 a.m. So that's how they do it there. And, you know, they have an unusual schedule in New Square for all their tishes on Shabbos and Yom Tov and everything else, you know. But anyway, but for me this worked out good because I snuck out of the house on Saturday night after my adopted parents had fell asleep, gone to bed, and I made it over to New Square in time for their Akafas at 1 o'clock in the morning. And the thing is that when I walked into the base medrash there, you know, it was so fantastic. I mean, I was just like elated to really see in person these, you know, Orthodox Jews, you know, with the beards and the payas and the streimelach and, you know, things which I'd been reading about for years. Now, like I was there in person, actually, you know, seeing it in real life. And one young man walked over to me, you know, dressed with the entire, you know, New Square garb and so on. And he introduced himself to me, and you know, he thought that I probably was Jewish, and I was interested in becoming Orthodox. That's what he assumed. Yeah. So he came over to me, and there were several other visitors as well. I'd say about 10 or 20 who were not Hasidim, but who just kind of tourists, you know, just wanted to see the Akafas and so on. So anyhow, but I was very young. You know, I think I was younger than anybody else was who was visiting there. I was 16 then. And this man, his name happened to be Avraham Stock, came over to me, you know, during the whole thing, you know, during the Hakafas, and he kept chatting with me and talking to me and what have you. He was very friendly to me. And as we were leaving at about 4 o'clock in the morning, he told me he lived in Muncie. He asked me if I wanted to visit him for Shabbos sometime in Muncie. I told him I lived in New City, and I said, you know, yeah, I'd like to, you know, and so on. I really would like to, but I said I have to tell you the truth, you know, Avram. You know, I'm not Jewish. I want to become Jewish, but I'm not Jewish yet. So he was very surprised, but then he explained to me that he himself also was a convert to Judaism. And wow. He was, yeah, what a coincidence, right? He was from Detroit originally, and he had converted when he was about 20 years old. His parents also were extremely against it. As I understand, I think they literally picked him up and threw him out of the house or something like that, when he told them about this. But he converted. He went to Israel. He married, I think, one of the original founding students of Neve Yerushalayim, is his wife, and who was a Baal Tshuva from Chicago. And in any case, in 1976, he was 28 years old, living in Muncie with his wife and I think 3 little children at that time. Now he's already a grandfather and his kids are all married and what have you. But anyhow, and he told me, it's a big decision. It's a very big commitment, and you have to think it over a lot and so on. And but he said, if I want to, I can look him up in Muncie. I can call him, talk to him. He sympathized with my situation and all that. So, naturally, I started bugging him, and calling him. And I went to him for Shabbos a few times while I was still not Jewish. And he introduced me to several other people in Muncie. The most important person was a man named Rabbi Yisrael Flam, who was the principal of a school called the Yeshiva of Spring Valley. And, I'm not sure exactly why he chose to take an interest in it, because he was basically the principal of an elementary school, and he didn't ordinarily. He was also the rabbi of a small shul, but he did not generally get involved. I think I maybe was the only conversion he ever did or something. But he met me. He was a friend of Avram Stock, and he agreed to meet with me. And he met me a few times, and I guess he liked me and so on. And what happened is that when my adopted mother said, I have to get out, so I called up Avram Stock, and he said that I could come and stay with him if I needed a place to stay. So I did, go and stay with him in Muncie. A friend of mine in New City helped drive me over there, and I went and stayed with him. And then I contacted Rabbi Flam, and I spoke to him. So Rabbi Flam told me that he was, that he was not sure how to proceed with this, but he felt that he wanted to gather together a group of other rabbis in Muncie. And he wanted to, whatchamacallit, just 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. He wanted to go to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein to ask him his opinion about my conversion. I don't know if you probably like you might have heard of him.
Yeah, I know Rabbi.
Yes, he was quite famous, saying, right, saying. So he was, in 1976, he was still in good health, and, he was seeing visitors on a regular basis with different questions and so forth. So Rabbi Flam arranged, for us to do this, to go to meet with Moshe and, decide about my conversion. So this was incidentally like about 2 weeks before Pesach. It was 1977 by then. So in any case, myself and about half a dozen other rabbis from Muncie and Rabbi Flam all packed up in a couple of cars and went down to the Lower East Side, to decide my fate, what they were going to do, I was only 16 and a half, and my adopted parents were really against my conversion. And, and who knows if I might change my mind. I might get homesick. I might miss them. I might just change my mind about the whole thing, I think that if I would have been there, making a decision about it, I would probably have decided, no, don't convert this person, because he's so young, and what if he doesn't, what if he's not happy or something?